An overhaul of Vermont's bottle bill make it over the finish line.
Vermont lawmakers are one step away from sending an expansion of the state's redemption system to Governor Scott. Under the proposal, more containers would be subject to a 5-cent refund and 15 cents for wine bottles.
Channel 3 political reporter Calvin Cutler explains what that means for you.
Now, here's how money flows through Vermont's bottle redemption system. Now, manufacturers and distributors charge stores and redemption centers a nickel per container, and they may charge a 4-cent handling fee. Retailers then charge customers that nickel and may pass on the handling fee with the expectation that they'll return the bottle to recoup their 5 cents. Now, when you go to return your bottle at a redemption center, you get your nickel back from the middleman, and they then return the bottle to the distributor after being recycled, and they earn their 5 cents back. Now, at this point, the manufacturer and the retailer are even if they charged the 4-cent handling fee. But what would more bottles being added to the mix mean for you? On a slow Tuesday at the Barry Beverage Baron, a state redemption center, Trent Julian is dropping off 3 months of cans and bottles.
But usually I get up to $9, typically, depending on how much we get.
Skilled workers manually sort the soda, beer, and liquor containers into over 100 bins. Those bags are stored upstairs and are picked up by a hauling company 3 times a week. A bill in Montpelier, which is nearing the finish line, would expand Vermont's deposit return law to include wine bottles, juice, sports drinks, and more. It also increases what redemption centers are paid. Right now, redemption centers are hard to find.
There's not one in Montpelier, and I don't know of any. If you go down 302 from here all the way to New Hampshire, I don't think there's one, and that's because if it's not profitable, people aren't going to do it.
Retailers can opt out of accepting cans if their building is smaller than 5,000 square feet, about the size of 2 tennis courts. And stores would be able to use reverse vending machines so people can return cans where they bought them. The bill calls for the creation of at least 3 redemption centers per county, or 1 per every town over 7,000 people.
I think that we have a lot of questions that need answers before we can say, let's move forward.
Questions like how the redemption centers will be created, how they'll be paid, and how they'll be staffed.
We could hire 2 more right now if we could find them. So if, we would need to probably add on at least 5 more.
Many of those questions will be hammered out in a study ahead of the start date of 2027. But there's also questions about the impact on consumers, both in the cost of beverages and in the time spent returning them for refunds. More containers could mean more trips to the redemption center and more time waiting. Julian says he's A-okay with that.
I think it's worth it because it also still adds to people coming in, recycling, and knowing the bottles are going back to a good use.
Now, lawmakers will be back at the State House in late June, where they may give it the final seal of approval before it heads to Governor Phil Scott's desk. Now, for his part, the governor says that he's opposed to the bottle bill expansion, saying that it may have unintended consequences. Reporting live in Montpelier, Calvin Cutler, Channel 3 News.